Hello, I'm Fast Lawyer. Today we're doing a Let's Play and early impressions for Painted Town Red VR, a VR mode that was released, or total VR game that was released today on the Steam store, the Meta store, and maybe other platforms as well. I'm not sure. Today, March 14th, 2024. Now, on the Steam store, and I'm doing the PCVR version, it released as DLC. So if you own the game Painted Town Red VR, you're only paying $10. That's what I paid. I bought this game, so I just paid for the DLC because since I already owned Painted Town Red non-VR, and I'm testing it out on the Meta Quest 3 using Link cable. Now, Painted Town Red, if you haven't heard, it's a melee arena-based brawler, voxel-based characters, and let's go ahead and look at the options real quick. So I did lower the resolution scale because performance is pretty bad. I've noticed some frame rate drops, a little bit of stutter, and I lowered it from 1.0 to 0.8. I hope that fixes it, but I've noticed some issues with that. Audio, I lowered the music volume, and there's so many there's so many game input settings, but basically it's on normal difficulty. I have smooth or full locomotion, smooth turning. I don't have any vignettes on. I have extended hands. Apparently, you can turn that off, but I think it helps in VR. And but no lasers. And there's just so many options. We can't really go through all of them. Now, there's basically 4 different game modes, other than the tutorial. There's scenarios. This is the classic Painted Town Red, where you just pick. These are basically like sandbox game modes almost, but basically you just pick a level, you pick whatever modifiers you want, and then you just go to town. You can even do a challenge this way. Okay. There's Beneath. This is something new. This is something when I first played Painted Town Red, it didn't have this. But this is basically almost like a roguelite campaign, single player campaign. But basically you just go down and you get upgrades. It's pretty interesting. You get different classes, so it just gets harder and harder as you go, and you try to get farther. So it's basically a roguelike single player campaign, basically. There's Arena, which is basically a challenge, and look at this. I almost made it all the way. I got to level 10 and I died just because. Oh man, it's so hard. If I'd have known what level 10 was, I would have saved level 8, level 9, not use any special abilities there, because you really need it for the last. So you need to save up for level 10. And obviously, the last point, there's player created levels. Again, these are just more sandbox type things. There's actually some pretty cool stuff. I subscribe to these. You just go to the Steam Workshop to get them. I don't know how that works on the Meta Store. I don't know how the Meta Store. I would assume it works the same way, but obviously it's a lot easier because the Steam Workshop's already active. But who knows how that works on the Meta Store? I would say the PCVR version is the best version, just from looking at the reviews. But even with the PCVR, there's issues with optimization, so that's not good. Let's just look at a scenario, because I'm sure that's what you all want to see, because that's the most classic. And what we're going to do is we're going to play just the first one, the biker bar, without any modifiers. We're going to do the standard. We're not going to choose a challenge, and no modifiers. So we're just going to play vanilla at the biker bar. So this is the classic. This is what I played, many years ago. This is what was the game until they added all that extra stuff. And you see, I can see my arms because that's the options I have. You can turn that off if you don't want to see that, but I like to see it. I did lower the music volume to keep that in mind. As far as doors, you don't actually open them. You just run into them. And as far as items, they're basically point and click, and then you just grab them. So if you guys are expecting to play one of the more popular arena brawlers, you're gonna be sadly disappointed in VR, because this is not it. So don't expect realistic physics. Don't expect modern VR interactions. This game is pretty old school with VR interactions. But what it lacks in that is just the stupid arcade fun this game has. So let's just start, and you'll see what happens. So that basically starts the mayhem. So, you know, some of you might expect this game to be like Blade and Sorcery, but it really, I mean, it kind of is, but it kind of is not. So if you expect Blade and Sorcery, you're going to be sadly disappointed here. Because obviously Blade and Sorcery has VR interactions you'd expect, has the physics that you'd expect. And this game is really more like arcade. So, not realistic physics. Now, you still have to swing. You can't just walk up to people and damage them. So, you do have to swing. But, and obviously, I believe the harder you swing, the more damage you do. So you can't just, you know, make little love taps and expect to make a lot of damage. But at the same time, you know, it's not the best physics. It's not like some of them, as you guys know, the best VR arena fighters, you can really feel the impact of weapons, you know. Just where here it's more like arcade hits. Sure, the velocity, you know, the speed at which you swing makes a difference, but it's more like a preset number versus a game with really good physics where you really want to do some really good swings in order to, you know, get past guard or stuff like that. Now you can block. Although it's kind of hard to tell when there's so many enemies on screen. And you do build up to a special ability. Now, I did change the options to lower the music, so that's why the music's not too loud. And I also changed it to make a sound every time I kill an enemy. Obviously, you can throw weapons. You see the voxel damage to enemies. And we're almost at full, so pretty soon we'll be able to show the full extent. Okay, there we go. So what we're gonna do, is we're gonna go over here, and we're gonna do the let's do the smite. There we go. That was a smite. Okay, so I almost got the second ability, which I want to show off in a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna go to the Berserk now, and you can see the difference between the Berserk. I think the Berserk might be the best ability, if you ask me. I'm not sure why it's not listed as the best ability, but I guess to each their own. I think if you got a bunch of enemies nearby, you can do a ton of damage. You can jump as well, and you can kick. I'm trying to find a weapon. So what you can do is you can go into these little places here, and you can usually find a weapon that way. But the weapons do break pretty fast, so you gotta be careful when you get in the corner like this. This is a good way to die. And now we're going to do shockwave. Oh, crap. We almost made it to... It doesn't matter. Let's go to return to menu. So now we're going to do something a little different. We're going to change up the gameplay almost entirely by doing a modifier. So what I'm going to do is... I'm going to do katanas. So laser katanas. And we're going to close. And we're going to play. Again, a lot of this is just sandbox play, really. It is grip to hold, and obviously you can start the... And we're pretty much gonna win here. The laser katana does so much damage. It's very OP. And I don't know if it ever breaks. I don't believe it breaks. But I hope you see the voxel damage there. And, you know, that's one of the cool things. You can, like, chop off their legs, their heads, slice and dice. You're like, bro. The only thing more fun would be if you could, like... If you can, like, cut their hearts out or something like that. That would be pretty cool. But as you see with the katanas, it's just super easy mode. Don't have to use any of the special abilities or anything like that. You just have to watch out for maybe people coming up from behind you. And as you can see, only this guy takes any kind of significant damage. And there we go. The end of the level, real quick. Okay. So let's go back and let's do something else. So let's do another scenario. Biker bar, disco, prison. Let's go to the prison. And we're going to do another modifier. We're going to do Superhot. And we're going to be unlimited ammo. And nail gun. Or boom hands. No, let's do I don't want boom hands. Let's do nail guns. And let's go. Let's play. So one thing you want to do when you do these modifiers, especially something like this, you don't want to start time moves only when you move. Yes, we know that. We know how Superhot works. What we want to do is we want to find our own weapon that's good. There's a shank, but we don't want the shank. That doesn't really do enough damage. We want to take one of the nail guns. So I wanted to, okay, so what we want, like I said, what we want to do actually is So just be careful nobody comes up behind you. Ah, I was so close. Okay, but you guys get the point. You guys get the point. Let's do something else. Okay, let's do it. I don't know if I want to do arena. Yeah, let's do arena. Beneath just takes too long. Like I don't know that I can. The video is going to be way too long. Let's try to finish this. This will be the last thing we do. We'll do arena. So arena is actually probably my favorite mode. It's the one that I had more fun in. So far in my early impressions. As you see, you just look around, try to find a weapon, and then just watch out for people trying to gank you from behind. There's a lot of gankers in this game. There's really no reason to use your special ability here. You should stay down, man. Don't get back. Don't get up, man. Don't get up. So, there you go. So, like I said, we're going to try to strategize, not use any special abilities in level 8 or 9 if possible, because you really need them in 10. And again, a lot of it's just look around you, try to figure out what's going on. Obviously, there's a lot of mob guys, and I don't think they're too happy. You see it. Notice a lot of stutter here. Yeah, there's been a lot of stutter. All right, not too bad. But yeah, my biggest complaint about this game is the optimization. As you notice, you probably noticed the stutters here. They've been pretty bad. Again, this is an RTX 3080. I haven't looked at how much the frame rates drop, but I definitely felt it. Yeah, I definitely felt the stutters. And now we're in a group, so what we want to do is help our buddies. Don't let them die real quick, because we need them to make the game a lot easier. So you notice that our guys died pretty fast. Which is not what we wanted, but it's alright. No big deal. We run faster than them, so we're not in too bad of a shape. We only need one more to... So we better watch out. We're getting... So now we can use our berserk. Oh wow, we died. Okay, it's probably for the best. I thought berserk was gonna come through and I didn't have to worry, but it wasn't the case. But that's fine. Like I said, I don't want to make a super long video. I probably could have gotten to 10 if I concentrated a bit more. So let's try the last mode. I mean, we're not going to do player created levels. We'll just do the beneath. So again, like I said, this is sort of like a roguelite mode. I mean, it is a roguelite mode. And you can choose the class that you want. We're gonna stick with Spectre, and you see we have those special abilities. So basically, we run fast. This might actually be the best. Vanguard might actually be the best because you get restoration. That's probably really big. You know what? Let's. We're Vanguard. Okay. All right, we're Vanguard. And we're just gonna go. We're just gonna go. Now there's upgrades and stuff that you can get. And like I said, you're just trying to get farther and farther. And there's obviously weapons and stuff to collect. So far, I don't see anything. Let me see. Nope. There's some stuff you cannot get. So you might think you can grab everything. That's not true. There's a lot of stuff you can't get. But we're just going to go. So we sort of got a weapon. This is not a good one, but... it's better than nothing, I guess. Gotta watch out for this guy. Okay, let's see. Is there a better weapon? This might be a better weapon. Let's just go. What the hell is this? Is this like a oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh, it's got limited ammo though, but that's okay. The only thing I don't like is that's not doing as much damage as you would think. Like, look, it's still alive. Shouldn't be alive, but it is. All right, it's fine. We'll run out of ammo soon with this one, so we definitely want to change weapons and get something better. I don't know. Actually, okay. So that's like if you play Dark Souls, that's like the little glowing bug where you get like extra rewards for getting it before it escapes. Like I said, we're almost out of ammo, so we gotta be careful. And you notice those things. We got to. Whoa, 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 whoa. We definitely don't want to get involved with those things. No, we don't. We definitely want to get away from them. We don't want to be out in the open trying to get that. Okay. We didn't get very far because of those crystal crabs. We were just in a bad spot without really a weapon to really get them. Okay, but you see, we got 10 energy on death. You gain 0 shards, so you could do a brand new run. Like I said, I didn't want to spend too much on the video, too long on the video, so trying to show off as much as possible. I guess we can show up player created level. Let's go ahead and show Bob's Pizza real quick. This will be the last thing I do. As far as my early impressions of this game, there's a lot more here than I recall from playing Paint the Town Red non-VR. This game has been updated. They've brought lots of new content, and all that's fine. But there's a couple of reasons why I wouldn't recommend this. So let me go the reasons that you might not like this. If you're expecting something of the quality of Blade and Sorcery, you're gonna be disappointed. Now, keep in mind this DLC is only $10 on Steam, so I don't think it makes sense to compare it to Blade and Sorcery. The number two reason, and notice a screen shake right here, but keep in mind this is a player created level, but it's poorly optimized and it's really impacting the gameplay. Right now, this might make a lot of people sick. Now, I'm a VR veteran, so it doesn't really affect me all that much, but still, it's not something that's pleasant. It definitely needs to be updated, fixed, optimized better. I'm actually surprised that they released it. They released a game in this state that's not very well optimized for PCVR. I don't think it should run this poorly. It's a voxel-based game. There's a lot of computations being made, but the graphics are simple. I don't think it should be running this poorly, but it is running pretty poorly. But the game itself is fun. Okay, so I don't want to be too negative because it's only $10. It is budget price. And I am having fun, but the poor optimization, along with the fact that we know that there's games with better VR interactions and better VR physics, does bring what I would score this as a lot lower. If I have to rate this game as is right now on release date, I'd give it only a 6 out of 10. Again, I did have fun, and there's a lot of fun stuff you can do in this game. But with the poor optimization currently, it's really hard to recommend. And keep in mind, like I said, there's just better arena fighters in VR, with better graphics, that run better, that have better physics, that have better VR interactions. So what this has is silly mayhem, the sandbox, the stuff. You can do so many modifiers and so much stuff. So, it is fun, especially for the price. Like I said, it's just, since I already owned it, it was only $10 for me. $20 might be a bit too much, though, for what this offers. But I still recommend it because there's a lot of hijinks, so if you like sandbox type gameplay and you don't mind the non-realistic physics, not the physics compared to something like Blade and Sorcery, or other, there's so many good melee brawlers in VR right now. I don't even want to mention them all. I'll just mention Blade and Sorcery because that's the one that most people know. But yeah. This is more arcade, so keep that in mind. But for those people, especially if you like, leaderboards and challenges and all that stuff, and trying to make this as difficult as possible and just silly fun, I do recommend this for you. I think it is missing online multiplayer. Like I'm sure a lot of people like to play this in VR with their buddies, but obviously I don't know if it can do multiplayer right now, given how poorly optimized it is. Wouldn't make a lot of sense for it to have online multiplayer when you can barely handle single player. Oh, by the way, you can use a shield. I forgot to mention that. Shields do work. Oh, my shield broke. No. gonna use another shield right here. Use a guitar that's just right here. So, you know, there is... I am having fun. For only $10, I really wasn't expecting too much. Obviously, I know if you buy the game and the DLC, it's $20. So, yeah, that might be a little too high for... But overall, as long as it gets some fixes, I probably see this scoring like maybe a 7 out of 10. But just right now, with the poor optimization, I think it would be hard for a lot of people to enjoy this game. And it's kind of a shame that it's so poorly optimized. Okay, let's do the shockwave. Yeah, look at this, man. Whoa, this is gonna crash the game almost. Look at this. Wow. What are the frame rates right now? Oh, 30, 36. Yeah. A lot of people would probably barf at this frame rate. But like I said, I'm a VR veteran of 10,000 hours, so it doesn't bother me. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. This has been my Let's Play. Early impressions for Paint the Town Red VR. Yeah, for most people, I would say this is probably a wait for an update recommendation. Wait till they better optimize it before buying it, because I think a lot of people will not be able to enjoy this in VR, given how poorly it runs. Again, I'm on an RTX 3080, so I'm not like in a super old GPU or anything like that. At least not yet. Maybe in another year or two, it'll be behind the times. So for right now, I think it's still pretty close, and it should be running better. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.